Alright guys, here we are with the Darkstorm. This is the AMG X8. Super cool little quad. I have a little camera on here. It's a 1080p Wi-Fi mode camera. And we're going to get some decent video today because the sun's out and it's really nice out. However, there is quite a bit of wind up here in the top of these trees, so I won't go too high, but they say we're going to get about 300 meters out of this quad. So I'm going to set it down and go ahead and arm it. My video is recording. What's really cool about this camera is it does have a little LCD screen on the back. You can kind of see what you're recording. I do see that the feet are in the recording on the video, so I'd like to figure out how to move those feet a little bit so that it's not in the next video. But for today we're just going to go ahead and arm it and fly it. It does have altitude hold on here because it has a self-centering stick. So now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can arm it and get it in the air. Okay, there we go. It should be a pretty mild flying quad. And I have altitude hold here, as you can see. There's a little bit of a wind shadow right here, so there's hands off right there. Not bad, just drifting just a little bit because we don't have GPS hold on this copter, or an actual return to home. It has one key return on here, but that's different than flying your typical GPS quad. So one key return works by pressing the key and it comes back in the general direction, but you have to press it again when it gets a little close to you. So it seems like it's flying pretty nice in this first mode, and I probably got a 20-mile-an-hour wind above me, so I won't go too much higher than the trees. But a really nice day to fly. The clouds were covering up the sun earlier and it was a little dark, so I was kind of waiting it out for you guys. I'm going to see if I can find that extra mode on this transmitter. Nothing on this transmitter is labeled, by the way, so you have to look in the instructions. That's one of the things I don't like about it. There we go. Now I'm in that more aggressive mode. I can fly a little faster. I believe it has 2 modes. Oh, it does have 3. There we go. So 3-mode quad, really nice. That helps a lot when there's a lot of wind upstairs. And I'm flying line of sight right now too, so just gonna go a little higher. I did a flight demo earlier today and the quad looked like it wanted to go to the next state because of the wind. So I'm gonna keep it in a little bit close. Try some more aggressive maneuvers here. And it seems to be drifting downwind. Down the road there, by the way, is which direction the wind is heading. So when I fly down the road, it really slingshots downwind. Now I'm in the more aggressive mode. We'll go up and see if I can't get a nice picture way up high. So on days when it's super windy, guys, don't fly this one up too high into this kind of wind because it's super turbulent in there, up there, and see how far it's drifting already. It almost wants to leave the property. So keep it in kind of close. This one does have brushless motors, by the way. It's way quieter than some of the brushed motor setups for quads. So far I like this one a lot. The altitude hold works really well. It's got a really nice little stabilized gimbal on there that has rubber grommets. Doesn't have motors to stabilize it, but this is nice for some quick point and shoot stuff without FPV. Got to keep an eye on that tree over there so I don't fly into that tree. Kind of go over here and check out the flock of sheep. And if I fly out of range, it should probably just cut off. Or it will cut the motors and descend and land. I'm going to try not to fly out of range. When I let go, it just drifts like it's kind of drifting on ice. Really kind of a pleasant quad to fly, even in all this wind. Just a little more careful in all this wind is all. Right now I'm kind of flying crosswind. You can do that and get away with a little more altitude if you're flying crosswind. And when you're flying line of sight, guys, try not to go too far out there because you will lose orientation. Especially with the sun in front of me right now with this, it kind of blacks out the quad. I can't really see the LEDs at all. The only way I have an idea of which way the quad is facing is the direction that it's headed. But if you get confused, what you do is when you get way out there and you get confused, you don't know which way your quad's facing, take your yaw stick, spin it a little bit, and then push it in one direction and see which way it moves in the air. If it moves right, just move it again until you get it to where it's headed back towards you. That's the way I've always got my quads to come back. Pretty simple. Hopefully I don't have to do that today. I don't want to fly behind that tree because I feel like I'm going to lose reception here. I don't want to fly too far either because I'm afraid I'm going to get taken away by the wind. Okay, now I'm in that situation where I'm not sure which way it's facing, so I'm going to have to do some spinning here. Let's see how lucky I get here. Because of the wind, you'll get a lot of drift. So I was way out there just then and thinking that it might not come back, folks. But like I said, I got to test out my own theory and method in bringing back a quad line of sight. And there it is. It almost didn't come back. Good to see it back. I guess the worst case scenario would be flying it out there and kind of losing battery. And then you're going to have it drop. So in that case, guys, put your name and your phone number and reward if found on your copter. And some nice person might give you a phone, give you a call and give you your quad back. That way at least you'll get all your parts back, even if it is broke. You can replace the broken parts, hopefully fly again. It's such a nice place to fly. I don't even want to come down and land. I know I'm going to have to at some point, but I've definitely been flying now for at least 5 minutes. And it does seem to be handling this wind pretty well because I was well above the trees over there. And I was able to make my way back over here in that headwind, which is kind of amazing. But then again, folks, that's the difference between brushless motors and brushed. I never would have flown that far if I had brushed motors on there. So these brushless motors make a huge difference. I was able to power into the wind, and you can see it turn into a silhouette out there with the sun in front of me. So if you can fly with the sun behind you, that's the best way to fly. Sun at your back. I don't really have an option out here right now. A lot of fun in that third mode. And if you're doing photography, guys, it's nice to fly in that first mode, and you can do nice slow pans. It's going to be some interesting video, onboard video, when I was trying to figure out which way this thing was facing. Like I said, if you get confused, spin that yaw stick around, press the right stick forward or backwards. Try to figure out your orientation, see which way it's moving. And I was pretty far out there. Sometimes a little bit of luck will help you get back. And also, kind of not freaking out when that happens helps a lot. If you get freaked out, then you start jamming on the sticks. That's never a good situation. Wow, look at how smooth this guy is. Super smooth. A really nice quad. This would be a great step up from a brushed edition quadcopter. to something a little more nice. And it looks like you could put a GoPro on here. So I'll just come in and land here. See if I can land on my board. All right, to kill the motors, are going to go down and out, just like you do to arm it. So that's it, guys. The AMG is actually a pretty cool quad. I'm going to go up here and press stop. So I shouldn't be recording anymore. That was a lot of fun. Looks like 6 minutes, 9 seconds. Not bad. Hey guys, thanks again for joining me on this flight. I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps. I'll see you on the next one.